So we're going to take the feet back, shoulder width apart. Nice soft knees. And remember, I want you to move the way that suits your body. So think about what you can feel as you're doing this. Try not to just copy. So what we're going to try and do is circle the hips. So you can see that we're both going to move slightly differently, but that's okay. You might move differently to both of us. But I want you to, as you're doing this, to try and think about what you can feel. So as I'm coming around the back, that's not too difficult for me. It's a bit tight this side as I go out. So think about what you can feel and take your time. So if there's a bit you think, oh my goodness, that's tight, that's where your attention should be. So try and lead with the hips rather than the shoulders. And if you find a bit that's difficult, I want you to just move in and out of that bit. You can close your eyes, I want you to breathe nice and slowly. So your whole focus is really in your body and what you can feel, how you're moving, what that feels like to you. We're going to go the other way around now, the other direction. I'm going to make sure we're breathing. And you might find that one direction is easier than the other. So think about what you can use to help you move. So we're not forcing anything. As you move around, as I'm going forward, it's a bit tight, so I might be squeezing my glutes a little bit. Could be using your abs. But I want you to try and keep this a hip movement. You can focus by leaning with your hands or holding your ribcage still. So if you find that your shoulders are joining in, maybe just hang on to them. I personally prefer to put my hands on the bit and move it. Nothing is wrong. Now we're going to go reverse it again, and we're going to try now to find the sticky bits. So this might mean that you're moving in and out of a position. So you can mute my music, put some different music on if you want, but try to think about how you're moving, don't just go with the beat. Movement feels smooth and good to you, just go with it. So we're changing direction as we feel that it's more comfortable. And it does get easier as you do more, which should get easier, depends how stiff you are. And then we're just going to go side to side. So I'm just turning so you can see that that movement isn't really my shoulders. We're trying to get the hips to move just out to the side. Push that out. So it's good you see that is more hip than shoulder. That should feel like a nice stretch down the side. Get a little ab workout on this as well. Okay, I'm going back round to the side now. We're going to try and tilt. So what we're going to try and do is pull up at the front, so we tuck our bottom under. And we're going to lift the tailbone. Turn around. It's good to see what you're doing. So lift your tailbone and then tuck it under. So again, can you see it's just my hips moving? So you're going to try now. Try and do the movement your body finds harder. So I find it really easy to lift my tailbone. It's harder for me to tuck right under. I can tuck under, but the last little bit, I can tuck under easily, and then that last little bit is a little bit harder for me because of my posture. So be aware of what's good, easy movement and what needs a little bit of work. But don't drive yourself mad. Love your body is amazing. Help it to get the best movement. Push down into your feet a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to try and keep the hips still and move your rib cage. This is a little bit harder for a lot of people, so you're going to try and push your rib cage from The shoulders and rib cage go together. Don't lead with your shoulder. It goes together. Now, although you're moving your rib cage and your shoulders, your upper body, it's actually really good for your back, this. It's good for your lower back, because if this is stuck, your lower back will be overworking. But try and get the movement high up. Same idea, just the rib cage. You're going to lift your rib cage and then lift the back. So you lift the front, lift the back. If you find that your whole body goes, squeeze your bottom a little bit. That feels good. So it might be hard to do. It doesn't need to be a big movement. You can actually feel that stretching. The problem with sitting still is that you're not really moving your spine. Remember, you've got all those little bones in your spine. It's not a fixed bone. You want to move through your spine. I'm going to try and put these together. Yeah, so what you're going to try and think of is your rib cage, and you're going to try and sort of move it around like that. So I kind of like thinking of this like it's a lampshade. You're going to shine your light around the room. So if you lift at the front, your light will just be shining out. I think this helps because this is quite hard to do. And then you're going to try and shine it over into the corner and round to the side. And then you're going to try and shine it behind. Push into your feet, squeeze your bottom if you need more support. You're going to shine it out to the other side and round the front. So can you see that the rib cage is moving? Try not to get your hips moving. And like I said, it's not about the size of the movement. You don't need to do it fast. In fact, it's better if you can do it slowly. And what will probably happen, there will be bits of this that you're thinking, oh my goodness, that's tight. But they're good, you want to find them. Don't avoid them, you want to find them. Let's go the other way. And that might be harder, just go in the other direction. Make sure you take a nice slow deep breath. So remember, when we concentrate, we usually hold our breath. Let's breathe. Like everyone. Breathe. You don't need to hold on. Just let go of your arms. Let your shoulders relax. And give thanks. You might be thinking right now, oh my goodness, everything hurts. This is really hard. I'm rubbish at this. I want you to let go of that. Start to think how wonderful your body is and how important it is that you look after yourself. And that's what you're doing right now. No negative thoughts. Think about what you can do to help it. So we're here now, we've lifted the back and we've allowed the arms to drop. I'm going to lift one side and then the other. So lifting the side here through the waist. So it's not my shoulder goes as it's attached, it's not my shoulder. Lifting here, pull up. Now slightly rounded forward, lift up, lift up. Not your shoulder, round a little bit more. It's quite difficult to do with overactive shoulders. That's why you're a good assistant. So what you want to try and do is keep thinking about where you're lifting from, and then try and lift your rib cage. So your shoulders might try and take over, but you really want to try and keep relaxing. So it's good to learn your habits. It's good to understand what your body does, how it reacts. Because then when you're doing things like this, rather than just going through the motions, you're actually getting to the bit that needs to move, which might take a lot more concentration. But it'll be worth it. Feel that more now? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come forward, down towards the floor. You can put your hands on the floor, you can rest your hands on your legs. I want you to bend your knees a little bit for me. Or you can even put something in front of you. If you want to stool in front of you, absolutely fine. Do you want to stool in front of you? I might do it too. Okay. So if you want to put your hands on the stool, you can. In front of you. Oh, in front. Can't get the stuff. In front. And then what you're going to do, so you want support basically. So I can touch the floor, I've got support. If you can't touch the floor, have a stool. It really doesn't matter. I want you to be supported so your body weight isn't hanging. And then I want you to bend your knees and drop your bottom. And I want you to try and get your bum as close to that floor as you can without hurting yourself. And then I want you to straighten your legs and lift your bottom as high as you can. So all you're doing with the upper body is supporting it somewhere. And it feels lovely, according to my sister. Now when you're up, remember my knees aren't completely straight, I've got slight bend, we're just shifting weight from side to side. So let the knees bend as that. I'm going to come back to the centre, taking my feet a bit closer together. I'm going to come up and rest on my own knees now. So what I'm going to try and do is just push my hips side to side. Now if you can, I'm going to reach down. So just so you can see it from the front. And then I'm going to push my hip out the other way and reach down. Again, you could have a chair as a stool each side or something. Just play around with it and see what suits you. You get both hands down, push the hip out and reach. So your hip goes one way, your hands go the other. Come back to the centre, push the hip out and reach. Again, we're trying to get into that lower back a little bit. You can keep your knees more bent if you want and then adapt it to suit you. One side does not fit all. So be nice to your body, listen to what you need. Up to stand. So we're going to roll the shoulder. I want you to imagine your shoulder is drawing a big circle. So not your arm, just take your shoulder forward, take it up, back and around. So your shoulder is drawing the circle. Keep everything else relaxed. Just stand nice and tall, let the weight sink into your feet. You might actually find after the ones we've just done, if your back's relaxed, that you actually stand a bit easier. You can feel your glutes working a little bit more, a bit more supported. Let go of the tension that you don't need. Right, let's take that shoulder forward, same thing. Draw a circle with it. Can you see it's moving my body a little bit? The body moves because I'm letting it go with the shoulder. Let's just leave that one. So we're just going to roll it back and let it drop and leave it there. Other shoulder. Take it round. Doesn't matter which direction. Just draw a circle. So imagine your shoulder is the pen tip. That's what you're drawing with, right at the centre of that side of that shoulder. See again, I'm allowing that movement through my body. That in itself feels quite nice. Take it the other way around. Remember to let your arm just hang, keep shoulder. Because we want that movement to actually go all the way through that upper body. And then just roll it back and drop it. So what tends to happen when we sit is that we lose the core line, the deep tissue line that goes all the way up. We tend to drop, so we drop our chest, sit with our head rolls forward and then the arm rolls forward. So what we're going to do is work in here. So we're going to try without using our rib cage, so don't let the body compensate, don't let it cheat by arching. Keep your rib cage down, roll your shoulder back and drop it and try and lift here, which is a bit weird, I know, and then just reach back with your arm. Do a tiny little movement. Keep thinking of pulling up behind your chest. arrow. Keep shoulder blade drop down. The more your shoulder blade is in position, in fact try it. If you roll your shoulder forward, you can't lift your arm any further. If you roll your shoulder backwards, you can go all the way around. Reach up. Keep thinking of lifting here, not here. Here, right at the top. Let's do the other one. So remember what you're trying to do, rib cage down, roll that shoulder back, lift. Right where your chest and shoulder join each other. Try and lift there. That might feel a bit tight, that side's tighter than the other side. Just take the arm back. Rib cage down, lift behind your chest. Remember what I said, if your shoulder's back down, your rib cage is down, you're opening here, and then your movement improves just by doing that. Now if it's very tight, it might be hard to do that. Keep persevering, just do what you can. Good work. So we're going to try now and imagine that someone is pulling your arm. And as they pull your arm, you rotate. You don't rotate all the way down. You don't even rotate your hips. You rotate your rib cage. In fact, you even try and go higher and rotate just where your shoulder blades are. So someone pulls your arm. So this one is a bit tricky. It should get easier the more you do. So if you feel like everything's turning, slow down a bit. Try and do a smaller movement. Just see if you can pull your arm if that shoulder blade moves. Let's see if you can go from one to the other. And roll your shoulders. Okay, so we're going to come down onto the mat. You could again have a chair in front of you if you want to. We're going to try and let that leg relax and keep it off the floor. So this can get very tight. So don't try and tense your leg too much, you might end up getting cramped. So just dropping forward, coming back. And slow down, try and ease into the front here. Squeeze your bottom a little bit. Feel that right into the hip, but be kind. You can see now I'm doing really small movements, just in and out, in and out. If you feel like you really arch your back on this, just lean forward onto the other leg. It takes the pressure off your back. And I'm going to straighten that leg out. So try and flatten your back as much as you can. Roll through the toes of the back foot. Keep going. Flatten it. And stepping with that one. Come on to the other side. Knee down. Always put something under your knee, that's fine. Just rock forward. So that back foot lifts up. And keep your leg nice and relaxed. all that tissue that's stuck together. And then tuck that toe under, hands down, and just rock through those toes. And from there we're going to step forward. This is a nice couple just to relax into. So we're going to lie down. We're going to stretch one leg out. We're going to take the other leg and draw your knee across your body. So don't go straight across, you can go across and up. So knee to shoulder basically. And we're going to pull that across. Now, most people when they do this roll their hips. So you're not going to get the stretch in the glutes, it's going to go into your spine. So I want you to not roll your hips and just try and draw your knee towards your shoulder. So you should feel that much more now in the hip. And let the weight of your back sink into the floor. So it's a nice one. Just focus on your breathing. Tuck your chin in. Let your shoulder blades sink into the floor. Try not to roll your hips. So keep sort of the middle of your back on the floor. Try and relax your leg. If you're quite tight in your hips, you might find this one your hips are trying to help you. So try and really relax your leg. And it's not so much how far you go, it's the angle. Keep your hips back. Knee towards shoulder, you should feel that right in the glutes. And breathe. And we just stretch that leg out. Do exactly the same with the other leg. So remember, we're trying to keep the hips where they are. We're trying to relax this leg and draw it towards the shoulder. Breathe. You might find as you're stretching that it starts to let go a little bit more, so you would just pull it very slightly further, but always listen to your body. If you don't get that release, don't try and increase your stretch. Focus on letting your back relax. Sometimes when you're doing things like this, it actually makes you realise how tense your back is. So if you feel like you're arching off the floor, you've probably got a bit of overactive back muscle there. Try and really let it release into the floor. And then stretch that leg out. Just roll your legs and the hip joints. Roll the thighs. Turn your knees in, turn your knees out. Get your hips still. And on to our final stretch now. We're going to bring the feet in, we're going to put the soles of the feet together. I'm going to allow gravity to stretch that inner thigh. So I want you to just, you might have your feet quite close, you might want to take them a bit further away. Listen to your body. I want you to just relax those shoulder blades into the floor, relax the back. So again, think about what your lower back is doing. Is it trying to tense up off the floor? Make it heavy. Make your hips heavy. Let go of the weight of your legs. Make your legs heavy. Feel like your knees are really heavy. Just surrender your weight to the floor. Like that. Let your chest open. Let your heart open. Allow yourself to just feel a little bit vulnerable. And just breathe. Soften the muscles. Let go. Want a bit more of a stretch, bring your feet closer to your body. Don't force anything, really let go of your legs. try and stretch them out. Have your feet slightly apart, your arms slightly away from the side of the body. Turn your palm towards the ceiling. And just take a few moments to breathe. And remember where you live. You live in your body. It's your body that lives in your house. So look after your body. Let the breath come in through your nose, deep down into your wonderful body. You are truly amazing. All the atoms in your body, mind you, all of the space in your body, the water, you're amazing. Just let go, just breathe. Just be and listen to the music or relax or follow your breath. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. So wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Don't forget that you are amazing. Take your arms across your chest. And bring one foot in, put your foot on the floor. And then the other foot on the floor, knees together. Take a few breaths in. And when you're ready, you're just going to roll over. Just onto your side. And again, take a few breaths. When you're ready to open your eyes, gently push yourself up to a seated position. Don't jump straight up, take